Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome back to my classroom. I am Mrs. Armstrong, and I teach elementary art at Sequoyah School in Claremore, Oklahoma. Today, I'm going to introduce you to an artist. He's also an illustrator, and I'm going to give you a clue of who he has created. Who do you think? Pete the Cat. His name is James Dean, and he created Pete the Cat in 1999. Now I'm going to take off these silly glasses because I can't see through them. In 2008, there was a man by the name of Eric Litwin, and Eric Litwin wrote a song about Pete the Cat. So James Dean partnered up with Eric, and they wrote the book, and James Dean illustrated the book, Pete the Cat, I Love My White Shoes. So I'm going to be reading this to you today, and this is our inspiration for our art project that we're going to draw and color a little later. All right, so before we get started on reading and drawing, I have a color experiment that I want to get started, because it takes a little while to get it going. So I'm going to set this up about right here. This is called Walking Water. And for this experiment, you need 6 clear cups. You need some water. You need 6 strips of paper towels. I cut them like this. Move the picture. Okay. Stir sticks and the 3 primary colors of food coloring. Let me pour the rest of this water so I can move this pitcher out of the way. And okay, so in my 6 cups, I have them filled about 3/4 to the top. I've got them touching side by side. And I'm going to add the primary, we're only using 3 colors. So I am going to use yellow, put some yellow in, nice and yellow. I know it looks orange, but it's yellow. And then I'm going to skip a cup, kind of looks like the color wheel. I'm going to put blue in this one. And then red. And this one. I've got a stir stick for each one, so we don't mix the colors. And then what we're going to do to get our water to walk, I'm going to add a strip of paper towel from the blue to the clear, from the clear to the red, from the red to the yellow, oh sorry, from the red to the clear, from the clear to the yellow, from the yellow to the clear, and from the clear to the blue. Now we studied the color wheel a little bit last week, and the primary colors are yellow, red, and blue. Now the ones in between that are clear, if the blue walks the paper towel to the clear and the red walks the paper towel to the clear in this direction, what color should it change that water? And it should be purple or violet, however you want to call that. And then red and yellow will walk into this cup and make orange. Blue and yellow will walk into this cup and make green. And you can tell, I don't know if you can see it, but it's already walking. It just has to make that little turn and pick up. So we'll come back to that in just a little while, and we will check it out. All right, let's get back to our story. Pete the Cat. It's illustrated by James Dean. Now, James Dean partnered with Eric for just a couple of years. They wrote a couple books together. They wrote this one, Pete the Cat, I Love My White Shoes, and Pete the Cat, I Love My School Shoes. Around 2011, James Dean, his wife is also an artist. Her name is Kimberly. And they joined together and started writing the rest of the Pete the Cat books and illustrating them. And now together they have over 60 Pete the Cat books. They live in Savannah, Georgia with their 5 cats, and they have a pug named Emma. All right, let's get started on Pete the Cat. I do have to have my reading glasses on for this, and I want to have Pete nearby. Put him sitting over here. Let's see how we can set him. We'll just lean him right here. Well, I don't think he's going to stand. So, and I've got my phone here because it's going to help me with singing the song a little bit. We'll see how it goes. All right, Pete the Cat, I Love My White Shoes. Art by James Dean. Story by Eric Litwin. And this is actually written as a song. And if you get on YouTube and you watch some of them read it and animate it, it's really cute. All right, here we go. Is that good? All right. Pete the Cat was walking down the street in his brand new white shoes. Pete loved his white shoes so much, he sang this song. Let me see if I can get this up here so that you can hear the song, and I want you to sing it with me. I love my white shoes. I love my white shoes. I love my white shoes. Love my white shoes. Love my white shoes. I love my white shoes. All right, we'll see how that turns out. Oh no, Pete stepped in a large pile of strawberries. What color did it turn his shoes? Make a guess. Red. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. He kept walking along and singing his song. My red shoes, I love my red shoes. 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 Whoops. All right. Oh no! Pete stepped in a large pile of blueberries. What color did it turn his shoes? Blue. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. He kept walking along and singing his song. Okay, I want you guys to get up and sing with me on this one. I love my blue shoes. 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 It always stops right at the end of that one. All right. Oh no, Pete stepped in a large puddle of mud. What color did it turn his shoes? Look at the picture. Make a guess. Brown. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. He kept walking along and singing his song. Okay, get up and get ready to sing. My brown shoes. I love 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 my brown shoes. All right, he's drinking his morning coffee. Kind of looks like me in the mornings. Oh no! Pete stepped in a bucket of water. All the brown, all the blue and all the red were washed away. What color were his shoes again? White. But now they were wet. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. He kept walking along and singing his song. My wet shoes, I love my wet shoes. 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 I'm not a singer, but we tried. The moral of Pete's story is, no matter what you step in, because it's all good. The end. What I love about Pete in this story is that he's always content. No matter what happens, what kind of a day he's having, he finds something that's going to make him happy. So this one has a really good moral to the story. All right, so let's check on our walking water, see if anything's happening over here. I'm going to move it up a little bit. Get some stuff out of the way. I've got Pete going over here. He might hang up here, I don't know. Probably not, he'll fall, but we'll get him right there. All right, it is starting to walk. I can see the yellow turning the corner. Hopefully you can see the blue. Get up here a little bit. The blue has turned the corner. If this doesn't happen before time is up today, I'll leave it here, and then next week I'll pull it over here and we'll see what's happened with those other colors. But this is something that you can do at home. We might need more than the 25 minutes that we have today. So I did it at home. I didn't time it, but it did work. Most of the colors were made pretty well. Purple's always the hardest one to get to really look purple. So we'll check on it again in a little while. Let's get started drawing. All right, so we are going to draw Pete the cat. Try to keep it about right here. Yes, I can. Here, I'll blacken it out right there. I'm going to turn it back on, though, here in a little while. So, all right, so is that good right there? All right, now I am drawing with the marker. You are needing probably to draw with the pencil today. So if you make a mistake, you can erase. Remember, don't draw real dark. Any kind of paper will work. If you've got notebook paper, if you've got copy paper. Today we're going landscape. So turn your paper sideways like this. And we will get started with Pete the cat. All right, we're going to start on his head. And we're going to draw his face first. And he's kind of a funny looking cat. He's not like a typical looking cat. So we've got a certain way we're going to draw him today. So let's kind of start with the sides of his face. Ah, there went Pete. We're going to go down on this side and down on this side. That's going to be the side of his face. His hand kind of comes in a little bit at a point. So I'm going to kind of come that way. Meet here in the middle. Now the top of those lines has created his ears. So we're going to pull in his ear right there. And maybe I'm going to try to get it even. Kind of come up this way. And then the top of his head. And Pete the cat has these very oval football shaped eyes. And they're kind of low on his head. So we're going to get those drawn in. I'm going to try to just use the tip. Didn't write very good. other eye. Think of it like a football, kind of getting it in there. And then his nose is a triangle shape, flat on the top. And then his eyes have almost like a triangle shape here in the middle. Coming in. And we'll leave the center white. And I'm going to switch over to this other marker. That one's already not looking really good. Let's put some whiskers on. He has lots of whiskers that kind of stick out. However many you want to draw on there. All right, so now let's draw his body. That's his head. And we'll put his neck on. This marker's a little bit more narrow, but it'll work. It's nice and bright. All right, so now his back. His back is pretty long, so we're just going to kind of curve it a little bit and bring it over. Maybe about right there. His tail. He has a curly tail. If you can see his little curly tail. So let's bring this up. And circle over, and then I like to just start back on this point, come back down, and we'll stop about right there. Let's go back over to his front legs. So his front legs basically just come straight down, and it meets his shoe. So I'm going to just bring this down, stop about right there. The inside, I'm going to go up and around to his other leg. Draw one of his shoes on. It's like a high top, kind of looks like a high top Converse. He has the little sole on the bottom. He's got the little toe area. And then where the tongue is at in your shoe. Now he has drawn laces. I'm just going to do something a little bit more simple than the laces. I'm just going to draw some little lines. So that kind of gives you an idea how to draw the shoe, because we're going to do the same shoe on every foot, of course. All right, so here's this leg. I'm going to take this leg up and stop about right there. Again, this shoe this time is going to be turned the opposite direction. So, draw that other high top Converse looking shoe. The little toe area. The tongue. And the laces. Now if you want to put a tie on yours, you can. I don't think his, yeah, it shows a little bit of a shoelace at the top, a little bow. We can add that in. All right, so now his belly. His belly, let's just take over about this far. We may bring it over further. Let's see how far the back's going to go. So let's start here at the end of his tail. And let's draw this back leg. And I probably want that back leg about as far as this leg. So kind of match it up going across and then down. Let's draw this shoe. This shoe is going to be facing like this one. So it's going to be going towards the left. So again, draw on like a high top tennis shoe. Put the laces on. And then we're going to do the last leg. This is just going to go straight across and down. He's got little skinny legs. And let's add his shoe. There we go. And the laces. He's pretty easy. He's not too bad. So that's basically what Pete the cat looks like. We can always add stuff to your picture. On the one that I did as the example, I put him where he's like walking down the road. So if you want to add a road to your picture, you might just do like a horizon line going across. I put a sign, like a street sign. If you want to add a street sign, that in one of his books, he's got an area that's called the cool zone. So if you want to do like a little street sign and write cool zone. And if you want to write Pete the cat at the top and title your picture, Pete the cat. And one of his sayings is, it's all good. So I kind of did a little speech bubble over here and wrote, it's all good. No matter what happens, find a way to be happy. And it's all good. All right, crayons. Pete the cat is blue, but if you want to color yours a different color, that's okay. His eyes are kind of an orangey gold color in the background. And you can color his shoes any color you want to color. I did one for each color that he kind of stepped in today. So one of them, of course, is white. One of them is blue. I'm going to use the regular blue for his body. So I'm going to pick one of the other shades of blue for his shoe, just so it's a little bit different of a color. So I'm going to get one of his shoes done. Only 5 minutes left already. This goes by so fast. So I'm going to get some of his shoes done so that you can get those colored correctly, and then you can always color Pete the cat his other colors. So let's do one of his shoes. He stepped in. Now, remember, he stepped in the blueberries on this one. And then he stepped in the mud, or one of the times he stepped in the mud. I don't think I have these in any order. So I'll get this one brown. And then he stepped in the strawberries. So let's get this one red. And when you're done, if you have a black marker, you could go back and trace everything. That way it kind of makes your colors stand out some. And then, of course, he's blue. Let me color in his eyes so that we can get that taken care of. I think I'm going to use the yellow-orange. So it's not too orange, but yellow is usually not dark enough. So I'm using yellow-orange on his eyes. And then regular blue is what I'm going to use on his fur. I'm just going to color a little bit of him. You guys can finish this at home. And remember, I have a Facebook page that you can send these to. If your parents or guardians are not hooked up on Facebook, you can always go to the school website, sequoiaheagles.net, and you can get my email address. So I did have some send it to my email last week on the Monet, and so that works also. So just kind of color him blue. You can finish some of your background. You can color in your cool zone. If you want to make a speech bubble, it's all good. This is kind of the finished product, what it looks like. Mr. Trujillo, will you turn back on that smart board while I'm doing this? All right, so I'm going to let you finish that. Let's look again at our walking colors. It's still taking a little bit of time to get that red in. It's going, so I'm going to leave this here for next week. We'll come in and we'll look at that again. And I want to give a shout out to a couple of Sequoyah students that sent me some pictures last week, and I ended up turning it into a contest. Their ribbons are in the mail. I ended up getting their address and sending them their first, second, third place ribbons. A shout out to D'Artagnan. She is a second grader here at Sequoyah. And then Briley is also a second grader. She ended up doing one with paint and crayons. And then we've got Sarah that is in third grade, and she's kind of hiding behind her picture. I have a feeling that she may have still been in her pajamas or something, because I know when I got home and my grandson sent me his picture, he was still in his pajamas. But that's okay. We'll take those pictures any way that you can send them. And here is the link again to my Facebook page. Look under Mrs. Armstrong's art class, Sequoyah Elementary, Claremore, Oklahoma. And again, if you don't have Facebook, go to the school website, find my email address, and you can send it that way. So that way it will work. And I've enjoyed doing the art lesson with you today. I will be back next Tuesday at 9 o'clock, and I'm going to introduce another artist next week. So I'll be dressed up, and you'll have to guess again who I am. So thank you.